welcome into the Sporty Show, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to have you here. It is the penultimate afternoon before the Euros. Yes, I can't explain how excited I am. I am Sara Pararia, joining you from SportyTV here. And remember, guys, that Sporty has the rights to 6 of the group stage matches, starting with, of course, Germany and Scotland, the opening match, as well as Serbia and England, Spain and Italy, Netherlands and France, Turkey and Portugal, and Croatia versus Italy. Alongside me, I have the one and the only Klinton Cod.
Fini di George.
Okay.
Fini di George. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Klinton Cod. But Fini di George, you've pissed me off. You have pissed me off. I'm coming for you in a minute. But anyways, we also have somebody very special you've seen before. It's the one and only Alex. What go on? Are you angry with Fini di George as well?
I mean, I'm not as angry as you are, but I do think, we'll get onto it more later. I think he's got some questions to answer.
A lot of questions to answer. A lot of questions to answer. Fini, you have to piss me off.
Klinton Cod lost for words. That is a first, ladies and gentlemen. Alongside the three of us, we also have Alex Bagley joining us from Manchester. Alex, tell us about Manchester. How's the weather today?
And it has been. It's not raining, which is all you can hope for. But it's the sun's shining a bit with the news of Erik ten Hag staying at Manchester United. That's the big news right now. So yeah, everyone's happy in Manchester at this moment in time.
Wait, hang on, Alex. Are you happy, like for real, that Ten Hag is staying with Manchester?
Yes.
Right.
Big time.
Okay.
Definitely. The options that were being mentioned. Gareth Southgate. We can talk about him at some point. We can talk about Thomas Tuchel. We can talk about all the other ones that were out there. Ten Hag, 2 trophies, 2 seasons. Ten Hag's army. Stick with that all the way.
Right.
It's not bad, honestly. Better than maybe adding more fuel to the fire. I think Manchester's problems are a little bit deeper than just the manager, right? We kind of alluded to this on Monday. So maybe keeping the manager, keeping some stability might actually help this club, because right now they have so many more issues to look at.
So many, and I'm glad I'm not the one making the decisions, because it's quite a stressful job.
Absolutely. Guys, remember to follow SportyTV on all of our social platforms: Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Kick, Twitter. We are everywhere. Speaking about Twitter, Klinton Cod is in fact a better footballer than Lionel Messi, but not in fact better than Cristiano Ronaldo, as our poll has told us. Cristiano is a better footballer than Klinton Cod.
No, listen. I feel like there was a foul play on that poll. There's something that wasn't. No. Let's be sincere. I was leading for like a couple of hours. Like it was only left with like an hour for the poll to end, and all of a sudden Ronaldo goes. No,
they came for you.
They say we have to take you to court. We are taking you to court. Okay, you're not from Nigeria. You guys are not from. If you were from Nigeria, trust me, I know where people will be telling me to go to. I know there is a foul play by the Nigerian electoral. Have you heard about INEC? Oh my! Listen, I don't want to say a lot of things about where I come from, but I think INEC has something to do with that poll. There's something, and I'm taking it to court. And the Nigerian judiciary, they will not do what they did to my guy who's meant to be the president of Nigeria. Well, okay, let me not go into that, because if I get into that now, I will not end. There's a man called Mr. Peter Obi, right? He won our election, and then the Nigerian electoral body did something that means that he's not the president today, right? And I feel like that's exactly what has gone on with that post that went on Twitter a couple of days ago. And we will go to the bottom of it.
We will get to it.
There's no way Cristiano Ronaldo is better. Like, if you tell me that Messi won that poll, right? I'll be like, all right, fine. Obviously, he's a god. Okay? Messi is definitely better than me. Messi is on another level. But Cristiano Ronaldo? Wait, do you remember that little girl that was clowning Ronaldo? There was this video during that. Was he during, I don't know what match they were playing, and she was going, Ronaldo! Like, nah. Ronaldo, definitely, he's not better than me. We are going to go to the bottom of that stuff.
Okay.
100%.
I love that. Well, we'll leave that to Friday maybe, and maybe we'll get to some answers. But let's chat about some of the top European teams that are coming into this tournament. And we have to start with, I think, France, because They seem to be the overall favourites here, at least at Sporty, between most of us. Maybe not Klinton Cod. We will get into our brackets shortly. But Alex Bagley, let me start with you. Let's talk about Ousmane Dembele and Michael Olise. Do you have a preference as who you would rather start right now for this French national team and why?
I think it's got to be Dembele at this moment in time. I think he's been there and done it. Look, Michael Olise is a top player, but let's not rewrite history. He's had 6 good months at Crystal Palace. Like, he's not won Champions League. He's not been in Champions League finals. He's not been at that level yet. So throwing him in at the deep end in the Euros is a big thing. And when you're France, you don't need to do that. You've got the level of players. If he was in the England squad right now, I think he'd be on the plane and potentially starting. But you can't be doing that with a player like Michael Olise, especially with the level that you've got in the France squad. They've got so many players in those wide positions. They've got so many players in them forward positions that can do the job. I don't think it's worth risking a Michael Olise coming into the squad at this time.
So, Alex, you would rather take a player that has scored three measly League One goals this season?
I think, you look at Olise, obviously he hasn't been able to play most of the season. He's had problems with his fitness and injuries. He's 16 goal involvements in 19 games. That's pretty good if you ask me. I just think that maybe Ousmane Dembele does have that big game experience over Olise. I can see why they've gone for it. But, who's to say in the future that Olise couldn't take that spot? And I think he's definitely proving to be a brilliant player.
Olise all day, every day. Olise all day, every day. Fact is, this guy is a world-class player, right? I would take a crippled Olise over anybody. Like, my problem with a lot of people is the fact that y'all don't see who this guy is, right? This guy is he's a demigod. Olise, I don't want... You see, that's why I'm so pissed off with the fact that he is not playing for Nigeria.
Is that why you're being nice to him, so he picks Nigeria?
No, and this is the thing. It's not even about the fact that he's Nigerian, right? It's the fact that I've seen the talent in this man. When I heard that there's a link to Chelsea, you don't understand how pissed I was, because I was so praying that he would end up in Manchester United. I want to see, this guy deserves to be on the biggest stages of football. I want to see Olise play alongside Lionel Messi. This guy is next level. Now, I understand the fact, the points that you guys are making with the whole, he's not got the experience for big games. You have Ousmane Dembele, who's been there. He's played for France, PSG, Barcelona. He's literally played, with the biggest guys in football, right? But I feel like people still need give people the chance. Yes, okay, maybe Olise deserves to maybe come in at some point, maybe at 70 minutes. Yeah. Now, and my prayer now is for Ousmane Dembele to mess up, okay? Because I want to see, Ousmane Dembele, right? I'm going to pray for you today. I don't know what today's date is, but when you start your game in France, at about 38 minutes, I see you getting some muzzle pull. I don't know why I hear it on your left foot. It's going to come so hard. And, wait. Olise is not even going to the Euros.
No.
All right, I cancel that prayer. I cancel the prayer, man. I cancel the prayer. All right, okay. But he's going to the Olympics.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's when I'm going to start my fasting and prayer, because trust me, Olise for Crystal Palace, damn, man, he scored a goal. There's a goal he scored, he didn't even celebrate. Right? I don't know if it was against Manchester United. I can't remember who he scored it against, right? But he scored this goal from the right wing. It was not anywhere close to the 18-yard box. I don't know if it was a free kick or it was just a shot, right? But he took this goal, and this goal went in. That was the point. I realized that this guy is not human. He's just somebody that's so underrated, and I don't understand why. This guy is so good, and I want him to come play for Nigeria. I want him, and if he comes to play for Nigeria, not under George Finidi. Oh man, I saw something online, They said, I don't know how they say. They say, don't judge Finidi. they use his name against him. I don't know if that makes sense. All right, okay.
I don't. It's right over my head. It's right over my head.
But I mean, his name is George Finidi, and when he messed up our games, they said, don't judge Finidi.
Yes. Okay. I'm with it. Right.
But yeah, by the time Olise comes to Nigeria, I will be the coach.
Okay. Add it to the list of things.
No,
There's
100%.
many that we have to get Klinton to do. But I've heard that we have Gary joining us from Ghana once again. Gary, are you with us? Yes, I see you. I think Gary's on a call. I think Gary's too important for us right now. We'll get back to Gary for sure. Alex Bagley, let's talk about the England national squad. Oh, some technical trouble again with Gary. That's all right.
Gary is doing some business in Accra. You don't know this guy. See, boys,
got so many things going on.
Fam, as I speak to that guy's probably made like $2,000 just from that phone call. This is less important to him, man. Gary, after striking that deal, please, we're waiting for you. There is something we need to settle here, man. Sorry, go on.
Muted.
We're here.
Oh, he's back.
Gary,
He's back. Okay,
welcome back.
No, he's gotten the bank alert.
Yeah. He just had to finish up. All right, Gary,
So,
talk to
I
us
was
about
saying
Michael
that
Olise
somebody
and
on the
Dembele.
phone- First of all, I was listing that's the 23rd thing we have to check from Klinton. So that's 23. That's
I love
what I was
that he's
writing on the
keeping
phone.
track.
I'm keeping score.
Yes,
Right.
perfect. Thank you. Someone has to.
So on Michael Olise, right? The goal he scored was against Man United,
Oh, yeah.
and Klinton was right about that. He didn't celebrate because apparently he does not fancy celebrating some goals. I mean, it's all in a day's work, and so it's not a big deal. That's why he didn't celebrate.
That's a God level kind
as
of
well.
behavior.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, But I mean, on a more serious note, for those who watched the last show, we did enumerate that France has a very stacked national team at the moment, and that has been the case for, I think, the past 3 or 4 major tournaments. They've had an incredible production line of talent, and Olise has simply been an unfortunate victim of coaches. In this case, Didier Deschamps has a lot of room to choose different kind of players. Now, I believe he was omitted because there are probably players in the France squad that Deschamps feels have more of his profile, or that Olise will be a luxury player. I think that's the only reason why he didn't take him. Because otherwise, look at the starting 11 here. They are very typical, functional Didier Deschamps kind of players. Olise likes to get the ball, do some magic with it, and he does have a tendency, because he's only 21, right, to lose the ball sometimes in tricky situations. I believe Didier Deschamps does not want to risk that. So I don't think that he does not rate the young man. I believe that, and this is just me being hypothetical, I believe that he and Thierry Henry are probably working together to blood the next generation of France national team players who will definitely, the next tournament will take the step up. But for now, if you look at even the probable 7 we have put out there, he's going for fashion over style. So I think that's just the reason why.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely fair. I mean, I think the concern is with Ousmane Dembele and Alex, you've mentioned this, his injury proneness, if you will. He's constantly injured, and even this past season for PSG, like I mentioned, 3 Ligue 1 goals, 2 in the Champions League. This is your right winger. They should be scoring more than that.
Yeah, I mean, in all competitions, just 6 goals. He's played 42 games, which, for him, technically, I guess you could say is one of the more successful seasons.
Yeah, truly.
In terms of getting the game time. But no, I think you're right. I think when you take everything into account, the fitness is obviously a problem, but for me, the big game experience is the key. I do, however, think Olise deserves a spot in that squad, even like you said, Klinton, to give him that experience because he's never going to get that experience if you don't put him in the squad. Yeah. And if you do, like you said, Klinton, play him for 20 minutes at the end of the game if you're winning 3-0, just to give him that taste. Yeah. And then going forward, if Dembele doesn't perform, Olise can play a bigger role.
I mean, don't get me wrong though. If I was the coach, right, knowing how much respect I have, or being a normal person now, I see Michael Olise Knowing how much I know he's able to perform on the pitch, I'm still not going to start him though. He's still Ousmane Dembele. I mean,
Yeah.
that's his wing, right? Ousmane Dembele, he comes with all kinds of skills. And like, you know, he's very, for me, it's actually the pace. He's very fast, right? You look at him 1 minute, boom, he's taking the ball straight into the right side of the 18-yard box, and boom, he's crossing it in, or he's even taking a shot, right? Now, these are things that are spectacular about Dembele, and I would always start him because in a game like, you know, France facing any team, you need that speed from the both wings. You have what's the name? God, I can't, Kylian Mbappe coming from the left. You have Ousmane. I mean, yes.
Full name to forget.
Dembele, I mean, that's to tell you that you're not on the level I need to remember just yet. Sorry, man. You need to work harder, bro. You need to work harder, bro. But yeah, I would always start Ousmane Dembele, but it doesn't mean Olise does not deserve to be on that team. You know, like we said, at some point he deserves a couple of minutes, gain the experience, you know, show us what you can do. And there's something I trust about Olise. If you give him that time, he's going to tell you why you need to start him the next time, 100%.
I agree. Alex Bagley, let's talk England and the struggles they are having in their defence. Of course, Harry Maguire omitted from the team. Luke Shaw is injured. John Stones kind of stumbling off in that last match against Iceland. Who's playing centre back for you right now? Are you subbing in?
It sounds like we're talking about Manchester United. Every time we get one player fit, the next one goes out, the next one comes in. Keeping players fit seems to be a problem at centre back this season, and yeah, it was a place in the squad we were weak as we started. So I think losing Harry Maguire is massive. His experience is huge. Luke Shaw is the only left back you've taken in the squad, and he's not fully fit. He's trained today by the looks of things, so hopefully we see Luke Shaw playing. That would be a big one, I think, because I think whoever you put next to him, it calms them on the ball and gives them an outlet. But yeah, struggling at this moment, especially if we don't have John Stones fit for that first game. I like Mark Gay. I think he's fantastic, and I think he'll go on to be a top player. But him alongside a Lewis Dunk doesn't fill me with too much confidence. And, you know, if we've got John Stones in there, I think we've got a little bit of hope to do it. But I don't know. I think Gareth Southgate needs to start getting more creative, which isn't his game. He sticks with game plan and that's it. But maybe a three at the back, maybe trying to have Kyle Walker as that back three and maybe starting with Trent as a wide player as well. I think he's going to have to get creative because, again, that team that we've shown there looks great. But as soon as you take out Harry Maguire, as soon as you take out John Stones, it gets very, very weak at the back. And look, we can talk about the attacking players all we want, how to fit Bellingham, Foden, Palmer, Saka, Kane, all these good players, all these players scoring lots of goals. But trying to get a back four or back five together is proving really, really difficult at this moment in time.
Well, you talked about the creativity as well, and one thing that Gareth Southgate has been kind of prone to do is take Marcus Rashford and Harry Maguire, and now these are two players that aren't going to be there. You talk about the players up front, they're attacking players that they have so many to choose from, but I'm still struggling to see Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane, even Phil Foden in these past few England matches kind of look 100%. And now without Marcus Rashford as well, are you concerned a little bit about, you know, potentially England's squad up front too, Alex?
I'm not concerned about up front. I think, you know, the creative aspect of that midfield, the ability we have, the options we have, I think are endless. I do look at that defence. I look at the options. Mark Gay, Lucas Dunk. I'm losing his first name. Lewis Dunk. And, you know, I look at those options. Ezri Konsa, Joe Gomez. They've never played for England at a major tournament. And I really, obviously a big thing for you. I love promoting youth talent. I think it's an important thing to do in international football. We see it with Eze, we see it with Cole Palmer, these young players coming through. But when you have a centre-back that doesn't have any major international tournament experience, I do think that's a key thing that you need. And Harry Maguire brings that. And when he plays for England, he's a completely different player. So I agree with Alex in that aspect. I think maybe slotting Kyle Walker into that centre-back position might be the safer option, because it just gives you that experienced head in the centre back position, I think.
Mm-hmm. Gary, do you agree? Kyle Walker getting slotted into the middle there, kind of losing a bit of that wing because he's so versatile on it.
Kyle Walker in the middle. Well, that's a new one. Just because I love to see coaches experiment and see what players are capable of. You know, That's why I'll be. But why would you want to put him in the middle, first of all? As a ball playing centre back, you want him to pair somebody, you want him to, or you want that defensive partnership to be able to hold the ball at their feet and probably give you line breaking passes. I'd like to ask Alex, though, which of the two will be the stable one and who will be the roving centre back in that partnership?
I think for me, it would be a 3. For me, if you're playing Kyle Walker there, I'm not saying as a 2. I'm not seeing Margay and Kyle Walker as a 2 at the back. I don't think that works. But you've seen how Man City played this year, almost with 4 centre backs, and Kyle Walker becomes one of those where he sits very deep and kind of can cover those passes over the top. That's where I see him playing. But again, this requires a bit of creativity. This requires them to change it a little bit, and I don't think he will do. I think look. The one question I've always had about Gareth Southgate is he takes so many different profiles of players and you want to play in different ways. Do we want to be a ball-playing team? Then you don't take Harry Maguire and you don't take these players. And if we're going to sit back, which I think he should do, there's a chance of, players like Aaron Wan-Bissaka haven't had a chance. If you're going to sit back and defend and you've got Kylian Mbappe you're going up against, play Aaron Wan-Bissaka there. You don't need someone to hold the ball if that's going to be how you're going to play. But it seems to be stuck in the middle of trying to get these creative players whilst trying to be defensive. Look, we mentioned France. France are pretty strict in what they do. They don't have too many flair players in there. They've stuck with quite a rigid midfield for so long, and they win international tournaments. It's a shock. That's the thing. And I think that's where England should have gone towards. If you can't get these players in there, go defensive, stay compact, and go from there. But he's kind of stuck between needs to play great football. No, just go and win football matches in however you can. And yeah, let's wait and see what team he puts out, what he can put out. Like I said, I think Kyle Walker is the versatile one. He's the experienced one. He's got to have a really, really, really good tournament for England to have any chance, especially with the injuries at the back.
Now, the one thing
to
I'll say to
piggyback
Gary,
as well.
Sorry, go on, Gary.
Sorry about that. Yeah, let's not forget that as England themselves have seen in the parliament, some old cliche is not really a cliche, it's the truth. Attack will win you the game, but it's your defense that will win you the championship. So they've got to get the defense right. They've got it right.
I think absolutely. It's very rare you're going to get a team like Spain where they can just play great football because they have a player in every single position that can do it. France don't have, France kind of go, no, we can do that, but we're better defending. You're right. People have this myth about international football that it's these great footballing teams that have won tournaments. Look at the Portugal team that won the Euros in 2016. Not a great footballing team, but they were really solid and they got some goals. We had some really good players in the attack. Look at that French team, how well they are defensively. Look at that Italy team that won, were the defending champions coming into this. Defense, like you said, defense wins you the championships, and I think let's see what they can do. I'm not as confident as I was a few weeks ago, and I wasn't very confident then. I still think England will fall just short.
Now, Alex, don't worry. I totally relate to what you're saying. The only thing I'm saying to Gary Southgate is, please, if England don't get to the final, at least the truth is, Southgate would have to go through the Southgate of Gatwick Airport, right? And you're not coming back to England again. Like, I don't care whether you're a citizen of England. Fam, Southgate in Gatwick Airport. Don't come back. Simple. Fam, I've already said it. England, they have all it takes to be winning the tournament. Like, easy. You're just like a couple of days away, literally starting, is it tomorrow, next tomorrow?
Friday, 2 days.
Oh, well, in 2 days. And now we are having to have issues with defense. Fam, you have Harry Maguire, like, probably with some woman in a hotel. Fam,
he's on a boat. He's on a boat. He has to be, Ibiza bound. He's gone.
No. Southgate. I mean, Finidi George has pissed me off already. Southgate, you are about being the next, right? And you're getting there slowly. Like, just try to, put your shit together.
We're going to go over our brackets shortly between all of us. But I have a bit of a hot take in that, and I told you this yesterday off air, but I'm starting to feel like... All right, Gary, big me up, because I don't think England are going anywhere past the quarterfinals. In fact, if they end up meeting Croatia, I think that could be the end of them. This team, there's something... there's something wrong, and it's getting closer, and we're getting closer, and now the defense is a problem. They can get scored on easily. Sure, they can score goals. I'm seeing high scoring games. I think it's going to be thrilling to watch, but I'm starting to think less and less about this team, and I'm really worried for them now.
I mean, I am as well. I think also when you look at the defensive problems, it's not just in the defence. If you want to bring Trent Alexander-Arnold back into that right-back position to cover for Kyle Walker, then you lose his midfield abilities. He's shown it recently and how he can be a versatile player. So I think it's not just creating the problems in the defence, it also affects the midfield. Obviously, we do have the options in the midfield, but yeah, not the sort of questions that you want to be asking yourself just 2 days before the tournament begins.
Not to mention all the fatigue a lot of these players are facing, right? Having very long seasons. Jude Bellingham hasn't stopped, right? So I'm curious to see how that'll work. But let's talk about the hosts in Germany and how they will fend. Obviously, massive omissions in Leon Goretzka, Mats Hummels, Julian Brandt. Gary, talk to me a little bit about this German team, because it was not long ago that they were looking weak. They didn't look like they had any cohesion. And then Toni Kroos said, I'm coming back. And all of a sudden, it galvanized this team in a sense. And now they're looking much better than they were.
Well, what they say in England, you play all the football, you go to penalties, and the Germans win. Look, Germany are really never out for too long. I mean, they fix it in the end. They are one of those countries that have the incredible ability to do self-introspection to a degree. Eventually, they find out what is wrong with them. They recalibrate the system, and then the most surprising thing about the premise you just gave is that unlike the 2006 period where they went so long and they had to do what they call the dash, they had to reboot the entire system from the ground up. This fixing didn't take too long. Actually, just needed a few tinkering and stuff, and they were able to sort it out. I'll digress a bit. If you watch their women's football team and how they all sorted the things out from under 17 to the senior team recently, you would understand that there is a system inside the German machinery that is able to, as it were, troubleshoot, what's the correct word, troubleshoot and quickly fix things. I don't know how they were able to reach out to Toni Kroos, because, I mean, I don't know the guy, obviously, but he seems like somebody who is really set in his ways and who decides that I have retired and that's it. I mean, you have a big man like Carlo Ancelotti literally begging the guy every press conference to come back. An old man like Carlo Ancelotti. So I've been wondering how Germany got him back into the system. But like you say, once he got back into things, it's been incredible to see just how settling he's made them. And I think the other thing was also to find the coach to take them into the next chapter. We can say all we want about what Joachim Löw's problems was. I think that in 2 words, or in a few words, or in a phrase, they simply were lost in terms of the ideas. There were no fresh ideas, and they needed somebody with fresh ideas. In Julian Nagelsmann, I couldn't have gotten a more refreshing choice, a coach who has a different outlook to things, who is not set in his ways, and who is not afraid to make the big calls. I think that's what Germany needed at the moment. So in our last show, we spoke about a couple of players that were dropped. But I think that this new iteration of the German national team needs exactly that, to look forward in a new direction, not to be bogged down by dogma and tradition, and to say that, you know what, we are confidently going forward in this new direction. Even if we fail, we would have ushered in a new era. And that's what I think has worked for them so far. I don't think it's a coincidence, guess what, that France, with all their goodness, look at France, they nearly made back-to-back World Cup finals in 2018 and 2022.
Thank God for Lionel
right?
Messi. Thank you,
The
Lionel
only
Messi.
team that has beaten France since 2022 is Germany, and they've not beaten France just once, twice.
But let's also remember
But
one of those
why?
matches, France was missing a very important player in Antoine Griezmann, arguably the metronome of that team, right?
Exactly. So that's my take on Germany. That and you were saying, Sarah, the last time that people are not mentioning Germany as favorite, and I think they're going to be happy with that. It's less pressure, isn't it? Because if you take out Germany, I mean, when we were doing the preview the last time, I think we all named about 4 other teams we considered favorites before you brought in Germany because of the host team factor and so forth. But yeah, broadly speaking, I like Germany should be watched. And why? They have an exciting crop of young players. Also, they have not been afraid to bring in young players who do not have a name, but who clearly do well in the team. I mean, if you ask the average football fan who is not like a dyed in the wool football fan, if he knew a 9 player who is set to be the main striker of the German national team, he's going to ask you, who are you talking about? But that's what they've done. They have a striker who literally nobody knows, who plays for Hoffenheim, who could be their secret weapon when it comes out front. And I think that that is what we should look out for in the German team. I love what this guy says all the time. Thomas Muller says all the time that it's no coincidence that the German national team hardly produce door winners, because from a very young age they are never told, or the orientation is not to win individual laurels, do well on the collective level. And you can see that at under 17 men or girls and boys, under 20 girls and boys, under 23 men and women, and in the senior national team. And I think it's a great mindset to have for the Germans as well.
No kidding. Alex Bagley, talk to me a little bit about Florian Wirtz and what you expect to see from him in the Euros in this tournament after the brilliant season he's had.
I mean, he's had an amazing season for Leverkusen. The only bad mark on that season was that Europa League final, but he's been tremendous. And looking at his season, he's a quality player. But I think the big thing that's kind of happened is Nagelsmann coming in and finding a system that gets him and Musiala on the pitch together. That is the huge thing that they've done. It's not one or the other. That he's not trying to force one of them into the system. He's got both of them in there, and they've got them playing very, very good football. And that could be the key to them. Like you mentioned there, Toni Kroos coming back in. Does that help those players not have to worry too much about it? Just give Toni Kroos the ball, let him do that, and you guys go and express yourself. And I think that, look, he's had an amazing season, but I think you look at the German teams, how they've done in Europe, that can only stand them in good stead. The Bayern Munich were unlucky to not reach a Champions League final against Real Madrid. Borussia Dortmund did get there, unlucky not to win it. And then Leverkusen, whatever what they've done, and that's where that team is built off. It's a lot of those players, and then you add in there Kai Havertz, who had a really good season for Arsenal. It's some team they've kind of got together, and you could make the argument that Nagelsmann is the best manager in that tournament. You look at those other managers for those top teams, and they wouldn't. They haven't done those jobs at club football. Martinez for Portugal, Southgate for England, and then Deschamps for France. They haven't had the experience in club football that Nagelsmann had, and haven't shown what he can do with a group of players. And it definitely feels like Nagelsmann's group of players right now. And yeah, I mean, we were talking 6 months ago. I think Scotland were fancy their chances to make an upset in that first game. They had a bit about them. McTominay was scoring goals every week. I don't think they've got that confidence now. I think that they're more worried about what Florian Wirtz can do to a depleted Scotland side now.
We keep speaking about Toni Kroos, and we keep missing out this particular player for Germany as well, Ike Gundogan. I don't know if it's just me, but this is somebody who I believe in that midfield. The fact that we've not mentioned him, would I say he's underrated? I mean, you see what he's done in Manchester City. He's gone to Barcelona.
And what has he done there?
Yeah. I mean, he has done something. He's had lunch with the players. He's gone to the dressing room. He's done quite a few things. But listen, there are players who maybe he was very good at Manchester City. He's not done as good as he's been in Manchester City and Barcelona, right? But then again, we are forgetting that there are players who might not be very when it comes to countries, it's entirely different, right? But then again, if you have Toni Kroos there, Toni Kroos is a leader, right? He's seen everything in football, like so far, right? And when you have somebody like that playing with somebody who's not performing in Barcelona, do you not think there's going to be some level of influence?
I think so. I think you obviously look at the player that Ilkay Gundogan is, and even if he may be not going through his best run of form, he's a quality player. The ability he has, the technical ability, his passing, his spatial awareness. We've seen it at Man City. He's obviously not quite reached the heights with Barcelona, but I still think there's a brilliant player in there. And sometimes when you play for your club, you don't have quite the best run of form, but then you go to play for your country. There are some examples of that. Harry Maguire is probably the perfect example.
Yeah.
You go to your country and it's almost like it's a different player.
Yeah.
And, I think there's that obviously added pride element if you're playing for your country, you're representing your country. So, I think Ilkay Gundogan is a key part of that German midfield, but it's supplemented by, like you said, Toni Kroos with the experience, Florian Wirtz with the youth and
Joshua Kimmich in the back will also bring a lot too.
Yeah.
So, I think Germany are well covered in that midfield and some very good players that all complement each other.
Yeah, and obviously their forward as well is, to be honest, they are all on some level of business. I mean, you have Leroy Sané, you have
full crew having a brilliant season.
exactly, and then you also have what's it called?
Kai Havertz in the front.
Kai Havertz as well. You know what I mean? Like these.
Musiala.
Oh my Jesus Christ! God, help me! Help me! Right? Okay, England. Sorry, man. I don't see you going anywhere.
Ask a question. I'm not sure about, but Nagelsmann has always been a sort of like a build out of the back, possession dominant type of player, and so this is what I'm thinking. I don't know what you guys think. He's going to go like a 4-2-3-1, but the way Nagelsmann plays, his sides are so very fluid, and that's why I believe he's chosen the kinds of profiles of players that he's chosen. They are able to adapt really quickly. So you were talking about the midfield there, maybe a midfield three of Florian Wirtz, Musiala, Leroy Sané. Very, very fluid midfield. They can move around, play different positions on the pitch to find spaces, between the lines out wide. I think the problem that has existed for Germany for a long time is they haven't had a consistent striker up top, right? And he's probably trying to play Havertz up top, and that gives Germany like another deep line playmaker in the build-up at all. But I'm wondering, do you think that the lack of an out-and-out number 9 will be a problem for them, or are they going to be like a Spain light and get the goals from everywhere, in and everywhere?
I mean, I think Nagelsmann came out and said yesterday that he's in fact not changing the lineup whatsoever before the Scotland match, which means that Kai Havertz will be starting up front. But I do see this as a team that is going to be scoring by committee. I think Gary's right with that. With Kai Havertz, look at this team: Musiala, Kroos, Gundogan. I mean, Kimmich can even score. Wirtz. I think this is going to be a team where they're going to really rely on one another. It's not going to be Havertz scoring.
Yeah, no,
5
absolutely.
or 6.
Absolutely. I mean, when speaking about Musiala is somebody who I believe does not have to be a striker to give you the quality of a striker at the same time. So I feel like just speaking about this German team, these guys are. I've always looked, towards France, England, Spain, but just speaking about Germany now, I feel like there are teams that might not have, hopes of stealing this cup or whatever it is at the end of. I feel like this might go to the German way.
And even if you look at the options they have in midfield, obviously Havertz isn't known for being an out-and-out striker. He obviously played that role at Chelsea a little bit, and Arsenal, he's sort of come into his own really there. And you look at the options, and if it doesn't work, you can turn to Füllkrug, who's got 16 goals this season for Borussia Dortmund. He was a key part of that team that beat PSG. There's so many options, and I don't think we give Germany enough flowers for the players that they have. It's just whether they can deliver in the summer. That's the big question.
Well, wait until you see my bracket.
What about the goalkeeping question, Sarah? The goalkeeping question. I'd love to hear your views on that.
We're literally speaking about that. Like how many?
My boy Max.
Oh man.
I don't know what you think. Look, I mean, Manuel is Manuel Neuer. He's, as we say in science, we used to say in class, he's the SI unit of goalkeeping when he's fit. Is it time to give somebody else a goal? When it comes to goalkeeping, you stick to who does the job, there's no room for sentiments. I mean, he's taken 3 other goalkeepers to the Euros.
This is personal for me, if I'm honest. I mean, I think Manuel Neuer is one of the best keepers we've seen in this generation, without a doubt. But he had that injury last season, and then this season with Bayern's kind of crumbling that they've had. And then you look to Marc-Andre ter Stegen, who last season had the most clean sheets across Europe's top 5 leagues. But because it's Manuel Neuer, he's constantly in the shadow. And for me, I think ter Stegen is maybe in the wrong generation because of Neuer, but if you're not playing him, that's your loss, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but I think Neuer has gone through a lot of ups and downs, and I wouldn't say that it would be wrong to give ter Stegen a chance. I mean,
I think you look at those 2 options; they're not bad options
for
to
sure.
have.
Yeah.
I think obviously Neuer has that experience. I think when I look at the Real Madrid game at the Bernabeu, he was having a fantastic game up until that error, the little spillage that then turned the tide for Real Madrid to win the game.
Yeah.
I just think when you look at the experience that Neuer's had at the international level, the way he can command that defence, and not just the defence, the whole team, along with his goalkeeping abilities, yes, maybe he makes the odd mistake. I just think Neuer, I would go for Neuer. I do think ter Stegen is a good goalkeeper, but I'm going for Neuer over ter Stegen if I was in Nagelsmann's shoes.
Alex Bagley, is it true, though, that we have to give certain players the playing time then to get that experience? We talk about experience so much, but then how do these other players get playing time in order to build up their repertoire?
Yeah, I think that they need to make a decision on the goalkeeper. I think this is probably, you probably need to go, this is Neuer's last tournament, and then we need to move on to the next one. But he's been amazing. I think that, look, this is, you're in the best position of probably any national team with having 2 of the best goalkeepers. There's not many that have that. England could do with one of those in goal, to be honest, as a safe pair of hands. So, look, I think that my opinion is if it's not broke, don't fix it. So I think Neuer stays in and at this moment in time, and that's not a knock on ter Stegen. I just think Manuel Neuer's done it at the top level. You stick him in there. There's no point changing Manuel Neuer at this moment in time.
Fair enough. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about some of these other potential teams that could win the Euros. Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, Spain even.
Portugal! Oh, man.
You want to start with Portugal?
I mean, I think we should start with Portugal because obviously they had a game yesterday.
And your bestie scored 2, in fact.
Yeah, I mean, you see, it changed a lot of my perception about this Euros for Cristiano Ronaldo. You see, I've always been the guy to say Cristiano Ronaldo needs to call it a quit. He's done everything possible in football apart from winning a World Cup, which I feel like he shouldn't take as a very big deal. He's done. I mean, he's paid his dues. He scored all the goals. He's, literally there's nothing apart from the World Cup. But then again, we've always accused him for his age to say, we can clearly tell that you're making some silly mistakes. You're not fast as you used to be before. You need to go chill with your children in the garden somewhere in Portugal or wherever country you deem fit to spend time. I mean, if I was Ronaldo, I would have done that. He's got how many kids now? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? I don't know.
I'm not too
I can't
sure.
remember now. We can't even remember. Man is just busy popping babies. And I mean, the most important thing is the fact that you're not just popping, in the womb of a woman. You're popping, on the pitch too, right? But then for me, if you've popped out this many amount of kids, right? Spend time with them, right? You've done everything in football. Fam, he's rich enough. Like, take them to some other planets. Jupiter is there. Fam, partner with Elon Musk. Like, do some stuff outside of football. But man, maybe because of the passion he has for football, he still wants to do more. And he's
doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah. I mean, I've never seen anybody that loves football as much as Cristiano Ronaldo, right?
Wait, what? This just in? Klinton Cod just gave Cristiano Ronaldo a compliment?
No, of course, no. Listen, no, I'm going to give it to him, right? Cristiano Ronaldo, I've never seen anyone that loves football as much as he does. You can clearly see that he has some crazy-ass passion for it, right? I feel like if it was possible, Cristiano would play football at age 55, if he could do it.
He might.
Like, I mean, he might. I mean, he might say, I want to watch my son grow. I want to play with my son on the same pitch. Who knows, right? He could end up doing that.
LeBron Ronaldo.
Yeah, exactly. It's so similar, Gary. Nail on the head. Yeah.
But then I watched him play yesterday, and he scored this goal. I don't know if it was a six. The one he scored from the right. Was it from the right wing? It was from the right wing. Yeah, he got in and he just, I saw that goal and I'm like, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, that was born in a manger next to a few horses, and people did not know if his mother was a virgin or not. Like, that goal was crazy. And that was when I felt like, okay, all right, Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm sorry. I feel like you still have some stuff to do in those Euros. Like, he still has it in him. That goal, trust me, you guys know. I feel like Ronaldo needs to call it a quit. But from that goal, I can't wait to watch Portugal at this point. I want to see what he's going to do with Portugal this time around.
Sorry, Alex, just quickly, has this changed your perspective on how far Portugal will go in the tournament?
I think so, because, after he scored the goal, the reason why I felt like I didn't rate Portugal in terms of how far they would go was because I felt, okay, maybe the main point man, who's Cristiano Ronaldo, doesn't have it, as much as he used to, right? And fact is, Portugal, they have a very good team. But there are other teams that have way better team than Portugal. But seeing what Ronaldo's done yesterday, I feel like, okay, putting everybody together, having Bruno Fernandes, having Jack Felix somewhere, you have, what's it called? You have Bernardo Silva, right? You have Cristiano Ronaldo up front, right? They should be winning the Euros, actually. No, they have what it takes to win the Euros.
I just want to say really quickly that I've been saying this.
No,
switch between your opinion
I just want
listen,
say...
see, at the end of the day, it takes only one action to change a lot of things in this world. I mean, it took only one action for something to blow up in America, and today we have to celebrate. I mean,
what?
Right? Yeah, okay, maybe.
All right, Alex, talk to me about Portugal. I can't.
No, just that action from Cristiano Ronaldo yesterday, I feel it changed a lot of things mentally for me.
Alex, how do you have Portugal kind of rounding off in this tournament? Where do you have them?
We'll see my bracket later.
Sure.
I think, I look at the players they have.
Stacked.
Similar with Germany, I don't think they get the flowers that they deserve. You look at the squad, João Cancelo, Ruben Dias, Rafael Leão, Fernandes. There are some players in there that...
Rafael Leão.
João Cancelo.
Portugal, they are becoming scary, And you don't understand, I love Rafael.
I've been saying this. They didn't lose a game in qualifying.
No, but you see, Sara, fact is...
And look at their group. Turkey, Georgia, Czech Republic.
Oh my God! I mean, it's going to be a walkthrough. I feel like they don't need to play. They should just give them the score. Why would they want to waste energy going to play these games? You just mentioned Rafael Leão. Yeah, sometimes he plays as if, he's gotten somebody pregnant and he didn't expect to get the person pregnant, right? But then again, fact, that's how Rafael Leão plays sometimes. He plays as if maybe they've told him that you need to pay rent and he knows he spends his money somewhere else. And then when he comes on the pitch, he's trying to concentrate on it. But when he feels like he wants to play, right? Rafael Leão, he gives me the same vibe that Olise gives me too. He's a God-level player as well, right? And there's something he does when he's on the pitch that gives me joy, and that's what makes me want to always watch him. It's when he wants to do something crazy. You see him smiling. I don't know if it's just me. There's this thing. If he wants to take on two players, right? Yeah. He starts giving you this. And you're like, bro, he's about to do some crazy shit at this point. He gives me joy. Back in the days, and that's something that we lack in football, currently nowadays. You don't have playmakers. You don't have people who want to give you the entertainment of football. Back in the days, you had people who, when you don't watch football because you just want to see goals or you want to see people winning titles. You're watching the game because you want to enjoy football. So during the days of people like Ronaldinho, even Messi did it at some point. I mean, because of age, you can say that he's just distributing the passes. People should go score goals. But they gave you the show on the pitch. And this is something I see in Rafael Leão, right? This guy from Manchester United who's come...
Bruno Fernandes?
No. Bruno Fernandes is not... He's just somebody... He's a visionary, right? He sees the passes, he does it. But I'm thinking about the guy that's come from... Brazil, from Manchester United. Sorry. Come on, man. Anthony Anthony.
Anthony. No.
Anthony, no. I mean, I know we all hate Anthony, right? I mean,
circle, dude.
Myself, my spirit, and my body, we hate him. Fact, all right. I mean, I feel like he shouldn't be playing for Manchester United. But then again, he has that mentality that I'm speaking about Rafael when it comes to being a playmaker, right? He wants to give you a show. He's just not good at it. Right? He was good at it somewhere else, but not with Manchester United. Okay, he just doesn't. Do you remember the time he tried to do that?
No, this is what I'm talking. The circle.
The circle that didn't work out
Disrespectful.
today, right? And then there was one he tried to dribble somebody, and then he took the ball into the throw-in, and then he was trying to do some skill, and he skilled himself into the throw-in, and he was telling the ref that, oh no, it wasn't me. I don't know if anybody remembers that stuff.
Gary, talk to us. What do you got?
So first of all, Portugal, you might recall, guys, that I think it was 2 tournaments ago when you were doing your possible starting 11s for some of the countries. I think it was in Portugal and France that you could produce about 4 different starting 11s, right? Portugal was one of those teams, if you recall. This is like 2-3 years ago. Like France, they are also incredibly stacked. And this team can beat you in 100 different ways. Now, everybody will be looking at Cristiano Ronaldo, but there's a key difference between this Portugal team and the one we saw at the World Cup. Also at the World Cup, they played against Ghana, obviously. So I personally, of all the players, I wanted to see Rafael Leao in the flesh. And everything Klinton says, the most impressive thing is how he just beats his markers while smiling. It was infuriating as a Ghanaian, but as a neutral, it was, watching Ronaldinho running, you'd be grateful that he's even doing that.
Yeah.
But picking the best player on this Portugal team is a fool. You cannot also pick the most impactful. The last show, we enumerated from the goalkeeper to the defense, right down to the defensive midfield up front. They have so much quality and depth that they can turn things out in any way. However, I would want us to focus on who I consider perhaps not their most important player, but probably the game changer. It's Paulinho of Fulham. He'll be my Paulinho. Yeah. They do well to find a balance between attacking and defending, but one of the crucial link players is the man who operates as a number 6.
Bernardo.
As the man who operates as a number 6. With the kind of depth they have, I feel like having somebody who is able to switch things as silly and as well as he can will be the game changing. His ball winning in midfield, the way he protects the back line, the way he defends on set pieces will be crucial. And if they are to advance, it is not Ronaldo's inevitable goals, Bernardo Silva's linking abilities, Bruno Fernandes's whatever. I think it is when Paulinho has a good day, that is when Portugal will really purr like a good engine. So yeah, that's my take. But apart from that, everything you said, I agree with. They should be a team we are giving much more respect to than many people are. And it's not just about Ronaldo. And a question about Ronaldo as well. I'm thinking from the game I watched yesterday that finally, Cristiano has agreed. I'm thinking that finally he has agreed to put the team above self. If yesterday was anything to go by, I'm thinking if he plays like this, Portugal are going to have a good tournament.
Sure.
And yesterday he was linking up play and allowing people to shine, and it was not about him.
Yeah.
No, that's what we want to see in our great players. Like, it's not all about you,
With age comes wisdom, Gary.
That's a good one.
But to be fair, with Ronaldo, in the past few years, he has not been that spot. I'm a Ronaldo guy. Check my tweets, check my whatever. I have been really angry at him because he's, even at the World Cup, the last World Cup, again, I thought that was a time where he should have made things less about himself and more about the team. I'm hoping that these Euros will be the time where he will allow the young Turks to shine and allow the coach to, if he has to come from the bench in 1 or 2 games, Cristiano, just do that, just for the sake of the team to move forward.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
I think so. I think if he does that, yeah, it's going to help Portugal a lot.
100%. I mean, we've seen Lionel Messi do that as well, right? I mean, the last one. No, I mean, you know, I would always chip in. You can't speak about Ronaldo and I don't chip in. Lionel.
Not.
Come on, man. Jesus
Let's not do
Christ, man. No, but we've seen Lionel Messi do this even for Argentina, and that's how they managed to win. You know, there's something people don't understand, right? With Lionel Messi, you know, the moment he's on the pitch, the first thing every coach wants to do is to send 3 players on Lionel Messi to say, yo, listen, this man...
Then X and Y are free.
Well, exactly.
Messi takes it, so there's no problem.
So I feel like if Ronaldo, I mean, we're talking about link-up play, you know, being able to be this god on the pitch. If he wants to come out from the bench, he should do it. Like Gary said, for the sake of the team. Now, you're not playing for your own stardom. You're not playing to be the man of the match. You're not playing to be the guy everybody's going to point to and be like, yeah, you know, because you are Cristiano Ronaldo, you want to make all your fans proud. At this point, do it for the team. And yesterday, this is what we saw. Yeah. And that's why I felt like, okay, Portugal definitely does have a chance.
Hey, I like that. You're finally listening
I am.
to me. All right, guys, the moment we've been waiting for, at least the moment I've been waiting for, it's time to see our brackets. Alex Bagley, I want to start with you. I want to see who you have going to the finals, going to the semis, going to the quarters. Can we pull it up?
Yeah, let's see if we can see the graphic, that would be
lovely.
Great.
Otherwise, I'm going to need you to read it out.
In terms of it, I can go through what do you want from me? Do you want who I'm going to have in the group stages? Who I think is going to be surprised?
Yeah, well, I guess let's start with that. I thought we had a bracket going. Maybe it's coming, but let's start.
Yeah.
We'll get through the group stage, and who do you have going through?
I think for me, Germany. I think the favourites win their groups. I don't think there's going to be too many upsets in that. I think Portugal win their group, Belgium win theirs, France win theirs, England win theirs. Spain comfortably, I think, will win theirs, and then Germany, I think,
comfortably, group of death.
Comfortably, yeah. I think they get. I think they'll go through. I think they're much better than the rest of those teams in terms of everything.
We have it here, Alex. Actually,
yeah, fantastic. And then,
brilliant.
Yeah, I had Scotland, Italy, Serbia, and Austria going through as the best third place finishes. And yeah, the thing when I was doing this, it matched up some very, very strange things in the next stage, and who kind of came up, and if we can go to the next one, you know, yeah. I kind of see it, you know, playing out in the sense that it's going to be some big games. I think England get a favourable draw up until the semi-final, but then I think they meet Portugal, and we know what happens when England play Portugal. It usually only goes one way, whether it's a goalkeeper scoring a penalty or Rooney getting sent off. It always goes the same way, and I think that's going to be the sticking point for England. Is I think Portugal are going to be the ones that end up knocking them out. Looking at that,
England and Portugal.
Sorry, I got that wrong. England, France.
I was like, Portugal finished second.
England, France knocking them out. Either way, they're still going to knock them out. It's still going to be an easy thing to do. England, France it usually goes the same way. But then, again, we've been talking about that team for a while now, and we've been talking about it, and I fancied them for a long time, mainly because they haven't been fancied by many. But yeah, Portugal, I think, have enough to do it. But yeah, there's some great games going to come out of that. Portugal-Netherlands could be a really good game with the likes of Ronaldo coming up against that Van Dijk team. Poor midfield now for Netherlands, kind of seems to be losing everyone they have in there. Spain-Germany will be some game, I think, if all goes well in that side of the draw. And then Belgium-France, I think France should be too much for them. And you mentioned before about England-Croatia. I think England should be good enough to get past Croatia. But yeah, semi-finals is where I see England kind of knocking out. And then France-Portugal, a repeat of 2016. Portugal to win that one. Portugal to win that one easy.
Yeah, I like this. I like this bracket a lot. I have something very similar, which we'll see soon. But I think it's that the semis on the left side for me anyways, the Portugal side. I have the semis and the quarterfinals could go either way. I mean, Spain could be Germany there. You mentioned the Netherlands, and that's why I want to bring up next Klinton Cod. I want to talk about your bracket because you strayed a bit from the norm?
To be honest, right, I might as well just go straight to the round of 16. I don't want to go through the group stage if you don't mind me. Because
I don't mind.
I just want to speak about the Netherlands. Because this is the really odd one, right?
Yes.
Everybody see Netherlands to win the Euros. God damn, man, what are you doing? Like, but obviously, you know, there's a part of that.
I love you have Denmark beating Germany too. Go on.
There is a part of what's it called? You know, in the quarterfinals we have put Portugal and Netherlands, and I've put Netherlands to put Portugal, and just thinking about everything again, which the game from yesterday. Wow. You know, that might end up being a very weird one. But I'm still going to give it to Netherlands still. And, you know, eventually they're still going to meet Spain. Now, can Netherlands beat Spain? Poof, right. I still believe in Netherlands. Why do I believe in Netherlands? There are, you know, their front three. God damn, man. You know, we underestimate Netherlands a lot.
I think they're a team that's going under the radar.
Honestly, the other day we were discussing and I was calling them dark horses. But then again, you know, you guys argued with me when I called them dark horses. Actually, looking at the kind of players, the caliber of people they have in their team, they are definitely no dark horses.
Oh, that's two that you've listened to me.
Yes. You see, that's how my brain functions.
We've got to pick up on a few of those results in there. We've got Scotland beating Italy. Hold on, we need to go back to that. Scotland beating Italy to start with. Switzerland, I think Denmark threw in their group, and they beat. Who did Denmark beat Germany?
Denmark to beat Germany is what he had.
So we've just talked about Germany, how good Toni Kroos is, Florian Wirtz, Musiala, but we think that Christian Eriksen's Denmark is going to beat them.
No, Alex, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something about me, right? I always believe that, you know, you don't have to go through the way everybody goes through. So if everybody's going to hell, if everyone decides to go to hell today, I'm going to heaven, okay? If everybody decides to go to heaven, I'll stay on planet Earth, okay? So I just feel there is always that, you know, change in how the world works. I just know that this whole France, England, everyone keeps speaking about for these Euros. There's going to be a crazy-ass shocker. There's going to be something that's very unusual. And I feel Netherlands, I believe them so much, right? This round of 16 that you think might not really, there's some weird combo I've put there. Trust me, I heard this thing directly from God. Right? It wasn't me just putting what I wanted to put there. I heard it very loud and clear in my left ears. He said, son, do this. This is what is likely to happen. Netherlands, today. Sara, Alex, you're here when I said it, right? Oh la la, le cabra de gaucha.
Well, one thing, though, I like about your bracket is you're right about the fact that there are always upsets and shocks in tournament-style football. Maybe not exactly in this exact form, but there will be upsets. I'm certain that in the round of 16, we will see some big teams missing.
Definitely.
I'm certain. Alex Ashmore, let's talk now about your bracket. I'm curious to see it.
Yeah, obviously I wanted to put England going all the way.
But you're a smarter man than that.
I couldn't do that. I think have France winning it. I think with the quality they have, you know, I think they'll go one more and, you know, win it again. I just think generally when I look at the teams, you know, I think Portugal could go all the way, but then I just see France getting the better of them in the final. You know, Germany, they have the potential. They're hosts. They've got a brilliant team. We've talked about it. Yeah, I think the only part of that bracket that I really want to change is England going further, but I just can't see it happening, to be honest.
One thing I'm noticing right away from yours is that you have Croatia finishing top of the group, and so Spain would then be moved to the other side of the bracket, playing what looked like Hungary and then England. Croatia, giving them a bit of the edge there.
Yeah, I think with Luka Modric, most likely his last, you know, I think, you know, he's coming towards the end of his career. He's obviously had a fantastic time at Real Madrid, staying on for another year. I just think with the players that they have, you look at Kovacic, Josko Guardiola for Man City, you know, some really good players in that team. And I do think this year could be the year because, you know, look at previous tournaments. They got to the final in 2018 at the World Cup, you know. They've come close, and I think Croatia could surprise a few people this year.
Is Croatia one of them teams that we could classify as the dark horses, though?
You could. They're sort of borderline. I think the players that they've got are some,
middle of the park.
They've got some brilliant players, but yeah.
Well, that's why I have them actually That's why I said they're going to finish second in the group and knock England out in the round of 16. Something about that team, and they know, like, they're just so strategic. What we saw in the World Cup too. I mean, Argentina slaughtered them in the end, but that build-up, like they fought for every single game. And you're right about Luka Modric last tournament. Their coach, well, what's his name? I will butcher it. I will. Excuse me here, Zlatko Dalic. Yeah, he's been brilliant with them. He has a ton of experience. I think Croatia are one to watch a bit, and I think we could see them maybe in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Gary, let's check out your bracket. I'm curious, very curious about you.
Before we begin, just wanna touch on a few things that I've heard as well. So let me start from last to first. You spoke about Croatia, and I don't know if many of you know this. They credited their success at the last World Cup to some guy, an English guy, the two Alexis. Do you remember the guy who was a video analyst who was able to give them on the spot information, and he was seated? They did a mini documentary about him. He used to work for one of these English clubs, and the coach Dalic met him at some conference or something, and he wowed him with his prowess, in doing video, that video analysis thing. They got him on board, and so he's able to give real-time information that like other people are not able to give or something like that. So much of their success was as much the football prowess, the coaching prowess, as much as it was technological advancement and all that. And so then, of course, somebody spoke about what was it? Yeah, Klinton. Klinton likes to be contrary. Like there's the English poem that goes, Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Klinton is like that. Klinton, quite contrary.
Contrary.
How does your Euros go?
Contrary.
Exactly. Yeah, he's contrarian. But I mean, there are some aspect that it seems like we all agree on that are like a common denominator of all our bracket. It's how some of the teams are going to do and how we are going to get dark horses for some. So let me start with my brackets in Group A. I have notably Switzerland finishing in second. I think that over the last 10 years or so, their consistent performance in tournaments, they always progress into the knockouts. That generation of performers is not completely out, and so they sort of have that DNA there, and they are strong enough. They are still playing at that high level enough so that in a quartet of Switzerland, Germany, Hungary, and Scotland, I think Switzerland will be able to do enough as a tournament team to finish second behind Germany. For Scotland, I think that the lack of firepower could cost them. Defensively, they are this very passionate. You spoke about it in the last show. Alex, that's Manchester Alex. You spoke about it in the last show, how they brought everything, how they put everything on the line. You can see there with Scotland, but I don't think it will be enough in a group like this because Hungary are so stacked as well. They have two of them. And yeah, it will be Germany 1, Switzerland 2, Hungary 3, Scotland 4. That for me. Then, of course, we go to Group B. Spain and Italy, they've seen plenty of each other in recent years, yeah? They face off again. And I'm thinking that Croatia will fit enough. They'll be good enough, but as good as Italy and Spain. It took me a bit to put Italy in second because it doesn't everything is going well with the in terms of some players. Notably, remember, Italy are having some major injury issues. And I was speaking to an Italian colleague who knows, the team a bit well. And there seems a complaint in Italy that doing enough, especially from the medical side. Can you believe it? That they are not happy with the medical team that Italy have. And that's why Italian football in general is having too many injury-prone players who are key. So if that is the case and they are not able to manage the workload, and let me digress for just a second, these Euros will be affected by many things. What we looked at, guys, that a lot of key players will be injured before the quarterfinals. I'm thinking so. We are going to have like marquee injuries to key players because like all of us are to blame. we all want to watch great football week in, week out. We are overloading these players with too much football. They are not machines. I
Absolutely.
mean, even machines are given rest, And I'm thinking that Italy is perhaps going to be one of the teams that are going to suffer. Nonetheless, on paper, I'm going for Spain, Italy, Croatia, Albania in that order. Then we come to, England's group. I think that England will be too strong for everybody else. Denmark will be second. When they meet Serbia, I think that will be the game that likely defines or who decides who qualifies in second. And, like I said in the last show as well, I think Denmark have been improving and have been building a spine for a tournament team about them. And that's why I think they'll be better than Serbia and Slovenia. Then we go to France group as well. We've spoken enough about France. I like the fact that Klinton is bigging up the Netherlands because, we've spoken about them, and it's not just sentiment, I believe. I mean, twice in their recent UEFA Nations League meetings, it's been hard to trust them, especially when they are led by Ronald Koeman. It has to be said. I think they'll face a challenge to progress out of the group with Austria. Now, Austria, the game-changing thing about Austria that I think has made them good even in qualifying is, I believe, their coach. I know Man United fans don't rate him, but I think he was a good coach at Man United at a bad time. And I don't think it was coincidence that, for a long time, Bayern Munich were seriously considering him as a successor, in their recent look for a new coach, Ralf Rangnick. Even though people don't rate him, I think he's a very good coach and he could cause problems in these Euros, which is why I'm putting Kent behind France. So, let's go into the third place. I'm giving Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, and the Netherlands to be in the third place before we go into the round of 16. Any questions so far?
I mean, there are so many. Switzerland in second in Group A is one that's sticking out to me for sure. Netherlands in third.
Well,
but I love it.
You are the one who said we are going to have surprises. And so,
yes,
there's definitely
no,
gonna be
it's
surprises.
great. I'm happy.
100%,
I'm happy.
100%.
Let's see the rest of Gary's bracket, please, from the round of 16 onwards to the final.
But then again, do you not think
this
that
is where-
a game
that's
where there are no...
interesting.
Sorry, I was going to say, do you not think that a Euros where there are no surprises? I think it would be boring though. I mean, to me, it's nicer when you have.
Euros is always giving us surprises. I mean, it's one of the
England win it,
premium
I'll be happy.
tournaments and one of the most exciting.
Yeah, that would be a surprise actually.
All right, let's see the rest of Gary's bracket, please. Gary, talk to us a little bit about the round of 16 and who you have while we get that posted. Here we are.
Okay, so for the round of
Hungary
16,
beating Spain.
Yes, I know, right? We have to throw that in. Look, I'm not sure. A lot of people are going to balk at this, but I think Hungary, because I put them as a dark horse, in the last show and all that, I think that they'll surprise Spain, might underrate them a bit, and then Italy will be too strong for Switzerland. Germany will do a number of Denmark. England will beat Croatia. As much as I would like, Luka Modric also to have a good swan song, then Austria to beat Ukraine, Portugal to beat the Netherlands, Belgium to beat Serbia, and France to beat Turkey. Now, at this point, let me just in quickly. That was something I wanted to say before I started. I think somebody spoke about Modric, this being his last tournament. So, Alex, I just want to distinguish Manchester Alex and Bowtie Alex. So that's what I'm going to say, just to distinguish the two Alex.
Bowtie Alex,
So,
wow, that's a good one. I need to change. The name on my WhatsApp now. Bowtie Alex.
Bowtie Alex was saying that Luka Modric. But guess what? I want us to go for a bet. Leo Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric. These three are going to be at the 26th World Cup. All three. I think all three are going to be at the 26th World Cup. This will not be their final international tournament in the Euros and Copa America. Messi said last week in an interview when he was when he was asked about it, and he said something that was interesting. He said he admitted that MLS matches and the consistency and the intensity of MLS matches obviously is not like Europe, and so he can't be too sure about how his body is going to react before 2026, but he would love to be there. Cristiano has said he's enjoying. He said this only last night. He's enjoying his football. Every game is like his last game, and so he's going to give it his best. Luka Modric looks like he wants to play Real Madrid for another 3 seasons. And I think that's why he's taking a salary cut to play for Real Madrid, because if Luka Modric is playing for Real Madrid, I mean, he's even able to get 15, 20 games in a season across all competitions. If you are a coach of Croatia, you cannot drop the guy if he's going to the World Cup. So, yeah, that was just something I wanted to put out of the way. So that's my round of 16 draw. Then we go to the quarterfinal. We are going into the good stuff. This is where the journey ends for Hungary. They are beaten by Germany. Portugal, they have far too much firepower for Austria. Then England.
Say it one more time. Say it one more time. England. One more time.
England will beat Italy. Will beat Italy to avenge the Euros final. I'm thinking, look, I know all their defensive stuff, but I just want it to happen. So Germany, Portugal, France, and England go into the semi-final, after which Portugal and France go into the final. And then, unfortunately for Cristiano, he does not get his second Euros title.
Man
but
said,
France-
unfortunately for Cristiano.
Unbelievable. Well, one thing I'm noticing here is besides Klinton, we all, the 4 of us, 2 Alexes, myself and Gary, have
No, don't just call them 2 Alexes. Call him Bowtie Alex.
Excuse me, Bowtie. Alex and Alex from Manchester.
And we need to give the Manchester, because you know the Manchester Alex, he likes that airport a lot. So I should call it Airport Alex.
Airport Alex.
Yeah, no, I've never seen Alex not wearing that airport. He always wears it when he's sleeping. He wears it when he's going to swim.
AirPods.
Yeah, the AirPods.
I thought you said
airport.
airport.
Yeah, okay,
Christ.
thank you. I was like, what are you talking
Well, I mean, you guys now will just tell me that, yeah, you need to work on your accent. That's like a subtle way to tell me I'm too African. Jesus Christ, man.
We all have the same, though, semi-finalists.
Airport Alex and the bow tie Alex. Sorry.
Are you done?
Yes, I'm done
Okay.
now.
We do have the same semi-finalists besides Klinton, but this, Gary, your quarterfinal, I believe, was Italy and England, if I'm not wrong, right? That's who you had matching up.
Yeah, and I
which
also
reminds
that
me.
Italy will.
No, sorry, I was
Yes.
going to say, it reminds
Go
me
ahead.
of the final of the last Euros that Alex Asmore so painfully hates, but it will be on tonight, Sporty TV, so make sure you re-watch that. 7:30 WAT, 6:30 GMT time if you want to relive that glorious moment for the Italians, or maybe a very painful moment if you are an England fan, but nonetheless a very fantastic game.
Airport Alex will not be watching. Alex will not be watching.
Neither Alex, I don't think, will be
watching.
watching. All right, quickly, guys, let's go through my bracket. It's quite similar, I believe, to Alex Bagley's with a different winner, but I think it could go either way. Out of the groups, I have Germany, Scotland, Spain and Croatia, England, Denmark, France, Netherlands, Belgium, Ukraine, and Portugal and Turkey finishing 1 and 2. I can't remember who I picked for my third. If I had the bracket, that would be great to see. I have Spain matching up with Romania, and then they will end up playing, here we go, Germany, and that's where it gets a bit difficult for the Spanish. Although I think that game could go either way. I think it depends on what kind of Spain you're going to get. Will it be a game where, again, it's going to be long horizontal passes with difficulty breaking through in the final third? Or will they be able to do it? Will Alvaro Morata be the one? I'm not too sure.
Morata, definitely not. That guy is always offside. Jeez, he's the king of offsides, man.
Yeah, but the thing is with Spain, again, they have players that can score. Lamine Yamal is breaking out. Pedri is there. Dani Olmo playing probably a false 9. Or Zabal, we will see. But there's potential. I'm just not sure what Spain team we're going to get. On the other side here, though, I think it will be Portugal to take out your Netherlands. I think player for player, they're just a bit stronger, and they look really good. Mind you, Frankie de Jong also being out for this Netherlands squad is huge.
Yeah.
I think that's going to affect them, and I don't have faith in Ronald Koeman as a manager.
Ian Matson's not a bad replacement, though, to come in.
No, definitely
I know it's
not.
not a like-for-like change,
exactly.
but the player that they've brought in, I think Ian Matson could do some good things for the Netherlands.
I'd love to see him shine, absolutely.
And he will shine. And he's going to make you feel wrong. Yes.
Wrong for what?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to beat Portugal with Ian Matson. I don't think they'd beat Portugal with Frankie de Jong.
Listen, we just said that they are going to be shockers, and I feel the shocker is going to start from there. Who knows?
I think it's Hungary beating Spain is the shocker.
Hungary beating Spain. God damn.
On the other side, I think Italy will find France in the quarters alongside England and Croatia, and this is that game that I keep saying it could be tough for England there. But the semifinals is the same four that we all have, and this one, honestly, I think this one, both sides, it could go either way. Portugal could make it easily over Germany. Germany are the hosts. That gives them a lot of drive. And then on the other side, England and France. This, it'll be France. But yeah, I do think France it's hard to go against this French team. And that's why so many of us have the French side, obviously. But Klinton is right, Gary is right. There will be surprises. It's a matter of where they will be. But I'm really excited, guys. I love the brackets because all in all, we all have very different ones. And that's always fun because, you know, in a week's time, we're going to come back and we're going to say, Alex Bagley, what the hell were you thinking? No, I'm joking. I'm sure it'll be...
Clinton,
You guys will come back to me and be like, you guys...
Wait, what did you say?
I said, Klinton, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
No, you guys might come to me and be like,
Van Dijk's
Klinton...
already defending, can't do it for the entire time. He can't just stand off people for the entire tournament. He has to actually defend in this. It's not going to happen for the Netherlands. No chance.
Let's see. I mean, I see you guys. I see you guys coming to ask me, Klinton, what's the name of the God you serve? Like, who speaks to you at night when you sleep? Like, I mean, let's just wait.
Let's see. Well, let's see. No, it does make it so exciting. I think Alex is leaving us now, though, as we head into our international chat a bit. But, Alex, it's always been a pleasure to chat with you. Thank you for sharing your bracket.
Thank you,
and
Alex.
Next time we talk, it'll be the Euros will be underway. So let's see how you do. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
The
Cheers,
AirPods.
guys. See you later.
The AirPods, yes. All right, Klinton. I know you've been waiting for this.
What
the
have I been
entire
waiting
show.
for?
The entire show. You don't need your laptop. Yeah, close it. Right to the camera, please. Nigeria lost to Benin 2-1 on Monday for the World Cup qualifiers. They now sit bottom of their group.
Right. Before I comment on that, just hold on, please, because I need to get myself really ready for this one.
Yes, it's looking. You know what? No, I'm not even going to say it. Just go ahead, please.
Oh man. Right, before they went into the game with Benin, I warned you if you need a judge. I told you don't piss me off. Well, I told you do not piss me off. But yeah, what happened? You eventually did. And we did not draw the game. We lost the game. We lost. You see, I'm actually speechless, you know. I'm speechless because, you see, it's that same thing I keep saying. I feel like if you cannot do the job, Nigerians, please speak to the president of the Nigerian Football Association. I am ready for the job. I am fully ready to take on the job. Nigeria needs to go to the World Cup. I don't understand why we would have this much players in. Listen, I'm going to actually list the names of the caliber of players we have in Nigeria, just our forwards alone. Oh my God, oh God, Finidi George, no go kill me, oh. Finidi George, no go kill me, oh. How do you have Kelechi Iheanacho? You have Samuel Chukwueze. This is a guy that I saw a goal he scored against Real Madrid. Like, you see, you don't understand how annoying he is. When you see how these guys display in their individual club, Victor Osimhen in Napoli. Oh, man. I don't know, but hold on. You see, my next question, the question I was going to ask is, what was the qualification of Finidi George, right? What did he tell them? What was the convincing couple of phrases that he had to say to them to say, yo, I am qualified for this job, to take the super... Why did they even take... The previous coach we had... He took us to the AFCON finals. Final. I mean, I was not impressed with our game. I was not. I felt like with the caliber of players we have, we deserve to have played better. But then again, who cares? We got to the finals, right? Yeah, we lost the final, no problem. But we got to the final. This time around, we are playing countries in Africa. Yeah, South Africa is, you know, well known. But if I ask you today, mention 2 popular players from South Africa or 3 that you know. I'm sure you probably need to use Google or something, right? But if I tell you about Nigeria, the first thing you're thinking about Victor Osimhen, you're thinking about Victor Boniface, you're thinking about Chukwueze, you're thinking about, there's a guy called Terry Murphy. He plays for Nice. Like, bro, I watched him play a game against PSG, right? He made nobody knew Kylian Mbappe on the pitch. It was Murphy. These guys are from Nigeria. These guys are, fam, even Ahmed Musa, we see him as a legend currently. But I will play Ahmed Musa over the guys I see play for the Super Eagles currently. Why can we not beat Benin, Jesus? Like, I don't even know where it is in the bloody African map. I don't know.
It's beside you.
I don't care. Like, let it be somewhere. I don't care. But my question is, how many people from Benin? Mention one top player from that country.
I can't.
I do not know. And they beat the Nigerian Super Eagles. Wait, no, we didn't draw the game. They beat us outright. Fam, Finidi George needs to get out. I can do the job better than him. I can do the job better than him. And I will do it. Bro, if I don't win my first 3 games, fam, take my first one away from me.
Oh my.
I think I actually have a key as to why maybe Benin did do it. So my team in England, little team called Yeovil, and one of their ex-players, Ceci Almeida, played for Benin last night. So I think that may be the key. He's using his experience with Yeovil Town to pip Nigeria in the World Cup qualifiers.
Just quickly, guys, I made a bit of a mistake at the top here. It's Nigeria at 5th place out of 6. They're not quite in the bottom.
Fam! So, wait. Did you just take out a few seconds to tell us that we are not really at the bottom? We are just close to the bottom. Is that what you just tried to do?
I just wanted to be correct.
Like, okay, I mean, actually, that made me feel better. Wow, so we are not really at the last. So we are like second to last. Nigeria should be the first.
Yeah, they absolutely should be. You got Rwanda, South Africa, Benin, Lesotho.
I mean, look at the countries you're mentioning, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, this is...
You are only 4 points off Rwanda, who are top.
No, it's not about that. Listen, I mean, now I was going through Twitter and I was seeing people saying, these people have to lose for these ones to win, and then wanna. This is not what we expect to analyze for Super Eagles to qualify.
Who would you rather have as a manager to replace Finidi George? That is not you. After you.
See, I was going to give you the right answer, and then you went to deprive me from saying the right answer.
Come on.
I feel like anybody would be better than Finidi George. Do you know why? Because,
myself included.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's not just me. Because first of all, Finidi George, when you look at his body language, the energy he brings in, the kind of things he says in press conferences, you can clearly tell that this guy is not ready for the job. This job is way bigger than him. Like, I see Finidi George to be somebody who's probably like the 7th assistant coach, who's giving, advice to the 6th, and the 6th is giving to the 5th, and, they take it down to the 1st. Finidi George is nowhere close to somebody who should be heading a team like Nigeria, literally the giant of Africa, in all ramifications, right? Mm-hmm. Finidi George, they asked you, what formation do you use? But did you see that? What's the formation? He said, we don't need the formation. Who says that? Who says that?
Does the coach need to be Nigerian, or would you prefer an international?
At this point, right, before Finidi George came in, right, we thought like, no, we can't have foreigners coaching us. I mean, when you look at countries outside, it's usually there are people that they would, you see that some ex-footballer who's had some serious experience in coaching. Like, for you to become the coach of a national team, I would expect you to have some decent level of experience when it comes to coaching, especially with the kind of team Nigeria has. We have so many superstars, right? And when you have that kind of superstars, you need somebody extremely talented, right, to be able to put these people together. It's like what we're speaking about England. They have so many options. You were talking about the coach of France as well. Like, you have so many players at your disposal. But then again, what makes you different from every other person is being able to look at all these talents you have and know how to make them work on the pitch. This is what we expect from a coach. Now, you bring in somebody who does not have any experience in coaching because he's an ex-footballer. No lie, Finidi George was an excellent footballer during his time. If you go to Aya, see what he's done so many amazing stuff, right? But when it comes to coaching, it's a whole different ball game. Lionel Messi might be one of the best players today. Cristiano Ronaldo could be one of the best players today. But if he goes to coach, he becomes a flop, right? I would rather even have Vincent Kompany coach Nigeria right now over anybody. right? You have Finidi George. You have all these caliber of footballers. You have Calvin Bassey, who's a very crazy defender in what's it
Fulham.
called? In Fulham, right? We have Ken. You see, I want us to go back to the time of the Super Eagles where people were serious with football. So it's not just about, people will say because of how much of superstars they are, they get into the pitch, everybody has some level. You need somebody to put these people together, get them on check. We have the best. Look at our midfield. You have Alex Iwobi, you have what's it called? You have Wilfred Ndidi, who's also talented as well, right? We have so many people who could do the stuff for Nigeria, but why are they not making it happen? Now, you draw to South Africa, and then you go to lose to Benin. For what, for Christ's sake? Come on, Alex, you know you will do a better job with coaching Nigeria. You know it. Sarah, you will do a way better job than Finidi George. And something has to be done about this. Like ASAP. If they don't have anybody, Nigeria, the president of, I've forgotten the name of this man. And you see, one of the biggest problems I've noticed about Nigeria is the fact that we are always so political in every single aspect in our country. There's something about them always thinking, okay, you deserve this because, what's it called? You deserve it because maybe you know one or two persons from the Nigerian Football Association. I was actually looking for the president of the Nigerian Football Association. Actually, is this guy that, when you look at him, you will just know that he's the kind of person that just one sentence,
Ibrahim Musa.
He would fall for anything. When you hear them speak about football, you can clearly tell that they don't have no clue. And that's the reason why we have all these stars, we have all these talents, and it's yielding zero results. How do we lose to Benin? I should be looking at... Fam, there was a time Nigeria played Brazil. Fam, listen, we were singing some songs. See, I was trying to sing some of... When Nigeria win Brazil, when Nigeria win Brazil, oh, baby, don't come, they cry. Like, back then when you see JJ Okocha, Kado Wango, you see Sunday Olisa, all these are guys that played because they had passion for football. I was singing a song for you earlier about how much we used to respect JJ Okocha at some point, right? People were singing, oh, Jesus Christ, what's this particular song? Oh, man, don't worry, remind me. I'm going to sing that song for you again.
Live performance on the next show.
This was, sorry?
Live performance on the next
show.
No,
live. Oh, please, go get your tickets, yeah? The ticket is going to be only 25 euros for you to watch me sing.
The opening ceremony, Klinton.
No, but Sarah, honestly, something has to change. You see all this team of guys earning so much money in Europe, right? Somebody has to bring them back on check. Don't come on the pitch and have some level of ego and feel like I can play just how I want to play, right? Somebody has to make them... When I was mentioning the names of all these previous players, when you watch them on the pitch, they played because they love football. They played because they had something to achieve. When you watch all these guys, look at you. I'm talking about Chugu. I mean, even what's the name of the guy that scored the 3 goals during the Europa League? Lookman. How do you have somebody who's broken a record come on the same Nigerian national team, and then you're being beaten by a country that in 5 years I will never mention the name because nobody knows what happens in this country. Nobody knows any of the players from the country. No, Finidi George, man, you've pissed me off.
Would you like to do a one-on-one with him if he came here?
If Finidi George came here, right, first of all, we are going to start with a boxing match, right? We're not just going to start the interview, right? We'll take this table away, right? We'll shift it somewhere, right? And then they'll get me... you get me,
gloves?
You know the gloves, but
the boxing gloves.
And it has to be red because I like red. Okay. Red is like you are angry. Okay, you will give him blue, bro. You see, have you seen the picture of Finidi George? Right, there's no hair, it's just hair. I'm going to box off the ones that are here too. You will not need shaving stick. It's going to literally be my hands taking it off. They ask you what's the tactics. They say they don't need the formation. Like there's no. All we want to do is win. Fam, speak about football.
Do you think even if, say, they finish second in the group and go through to the playoffs, and then eventually make it to the World Cup, would you still think he should be sacked?
He still has to be sacked because the fact is he does not have a clue. If that happens, then that's him being lucky.
It's either they'd win the group or failure.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, if you get to that, like if that happens, that would obviously mean that, by the way, in Nigeria we're very religious, we're very spiritual, right? I'm not going to give him the credit. I'm going to give the credit to people who are probably praying that our players will do well, right? Because at this point now, it's looking less likely that we're going to go to that World Cup. But if it does happen, thank you, Jesus.
Production, you've heard that. Red boxing gloves for Klinton Cod, please. But Nigeria will be playing next March 17th of 2025, next year against Rwanda for the World Cup qualifiers. So there's so much time. Finidi George, will he be there? We'll find out. Alex Ashmore, shall we talk a little bit about some transfer news?
Yes, go for it. Yes.
Right.
Some, exciting news, really. It's all been, you look at it every day in the summer when you're trying to keep yourself occupied between the domestic season, the international season. So I think one name that we always talk about, Victor Osimhen, he's had a good season with Napoli. He's always been touted with a move away from Italy. He's got 17 goals this season in 32 games. There's 3 clubs that he's been linked with the most. I think the big one is PSG. Obviously, they're losing Mbappe, but there have been reports suggesting that he doesn't want to go back to France. He has played there before. The other 2 names, Chelsea were strongly linked with him, but the reports suggest that the finances may be the reason why they've gone a bit cool on their interest on Victor Osimhen. And now I think the front runners are Arsenal, and apparently, according to the reports, there's already been a bid made of £72 million for the striker. So I think if Arsenal are to get someone like Victor Osimhen, I think that would complete their squad. They've got Gabriel Jesus, who's not quite performed for them this season. They're looking for that number 9 striker to get them the goals to compete with, like Erling Haaland. So, yeah, Victor Osimhen, the big name. I move on to another one, Joshua Zirkzee, 12 goals this season for Bologna. They qualified for the Champions League. Reports suggest that Manchester United and Arsenal want him. There's a release clause of €34 million. So lots of strikers in the market. Lots of clubs out there looking for a new number 9. One name that you'll like to talk about, Klinton, is Michael Olise. Reports are suggesting that Chelsea have already agreed personal terms with Michael Olise. I know you wanted him to go to Manchester United.
I mean, I feel this is a bad news for me. I prayed. I even did. I fasted. I just didn't pray 2 weeks ago. I wanted Olise to go to Manchester United. I feel it's going to be a very serious addition to the team. Watching him play from the right side, having to know that somebody like Anthony would never have a chance again to do that rubbish he usually does. I mean, the last couple of games in Manchester United, I've been very surprised with Anthony. He's almost like he kind of like stepped up, which gave me that whole thing of, okay, are you trying to bribe us now? Is this some planned work you did? All this while you've been so rubbish, and then all of a sudden... but then again, it's not just him. There are quite a few players that had that same problem, even with teams too. Look at Burnley, for example. And Burnley, they were rubbish all through the season, and then towards the end of the season, it was almost like they went straight to beast mode. I mean, I feel bad for them that they are going to, they are relegated. But Michael Olise, I hope that whatever personal terms that's been agreed, he should go think about it again and come to the best club in England.
Gary, can I ask you the same question if you think that Michael Olise would be a good fit at Manchester United?
I think so. I mean, we spoke about Jamal Musiala the other day, and we mentioned that he would be a good fit, but at points, Man United, the kind of place where he would want to because of the career moves and all that. We mentioned Liverpool as being a more realistic option, and I think that Michael Olise, for this part of his career and the trajectory he wants, obviously Man United, despite all their problems, continue to be a very relevant, a team that's relevant in the conversation. You can never take them out of the conversation. But what's he going to do there is the question. How does he fit into the team? What are his attributes? He's skillful. He's very good on the ball. What does he do better than what Man United currently have? Does he have the experience of the Premier League? Obviously. But would he want, and that's the thing, would he want a team at the moment? And now I believe we can all agree that Ten Hag is sort of staying and is going to be given an additional impetus to stay, right? That's the situation, right?
Yeah.
Would he want to play under Ten Hag as well? I don't think Ten Hag is the manager who can bring out the best in Olise. That's my problem as well. So it's not that Manchester United is not good. I think that the system and the manager will not do him good in terms of taking him to the next. I don't think so. I don't know what you guys think.
Now, to round it off, I'm going to talk about some more number nines. Obviously, Michael Olise, a fantastic player. Already talked about Xerxes and Osimhen. A few other options. Tammy Abraham now linked with West Ham, ahead of Aston Villa and Spurs, according to Gazzetta in Italy. Ivan Toney and Jonathan David, two other players that Manchester United are looking at. Now, I think, for those clubs, we look at Manchester United. Obviously, Rasmus Højlund has had his moments this season, maybe not quite produced the goods that they were hoping. I think out of those strikers, you look at Tony, he's got the Premier League experience. Jonathan David's doing a really good job in France. But when I look at strikers and the sort of strikers that I think United should be signing, Joshua Zirkzee and Victor Osimhen are the top strikers in Europe at the moment. And I feel like a club like Manchester United, Clinton, you're a Manchester United fan, should they be putting themselves in that conversation for Victor Osimhen?
Victor Osimhen to Manchester United.
Do you think they should consider that move?
Victor Osimhen kind of play, right? I feel like we've had somebody like that in Manchester United, and it's probably not worked for him. And I'm talking about Lukaku. Do you see? At this point, Rasmus, he's a very hardworking player. My only problem with him is the fact that his positioning. I think
that's Gareth Southgate, Eric Ten Hag 1 and 1. Is that not Eric Ten Hag's problem?
Yeah, I think it's not. I would not say positioning is Ten Hag. When I say positioning, I'm talking about as a striker, right? I give an example with what's it called, Haaland, right? There's something. Haaland doesn't play football. Right, Haaland is just the guy that uses his body, his height, and then he uses his energy, but he's always at the right place at the right time, right? Yeah. And which is a very huge quality of a striker that if you don't have, I don't classify you as a striker. Now, Rasmus Højlund is just a person who is a hustler, right? He wants to run into the ball, he wants to go find where the ball is, yeah. But as a striker, he's been able to read and know where to be or where to anticipate the ball to come to. Do you see? That's the one problem. Now, Victor Osimhen is somebody I believe has that quality as well, right? If there's anybody who I want to see in Manchester United, is somebody who has that ability that Haaland has in terms of the physicality, the strength, right, as well as positioning. Everybody can kick a ball. The only person who I believe cannot kick a ball is Nicholas Jackson, right? Right. Nicholas Jackson, very good with the positioning as well. He can be, but he's there. All he needs to do is to score the goal. Osimhen when it comes to the headers, the height, the body, the physicality, the shoot, he has everything. So for me, he's an all-rounder striker. Osimhen is somebody that his presence as a defender, he will scare you. Sorry, Gary, go on.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to. I was just agreeing with granting an agreement that look, Osimhen, top 3 teams in Spain, and that includes Real Madrid. Top 3 teams in England, Germany, the Netherlands, France. He fit in, because of what he does. You look at, let's go to the extreme and go to the Nigerian national team, which obviously does not have the kind of profile of players that Napoli have. But you see what Osimhen does, and the fact of not being around in these qualifying rounds has spoken volumes about his use as a goal scorer, but as a contributor to the team. He's a dream striker. Harry Kane fits in everywhere, any top-class team, because he doesn't just give you goals. On a good day, no, on a normal day, Harry Kane, you're going to see him helping with defensive duties, and he's sprinting, the 60 yards to go and help with a link-up play, then he sprints another 20 yards to get into the striker victory. It's like that. So for Manchester United, they can do so wrong than to put themselves in the conversation if they haven't done it already. I would say same for Arsenal as well. He's blessed in the sense that right now, the kind of football he's playing means that, he fits in probably anyway. And I would be excited. The only thing I'll be excited to see, one, is that I think his time at Napoli is up. So he goes obviously to England, and then he sorts himself out there. But yes, Man United definitely. And because I'm biased, I think that he would be the missing piece in the puzzle for Arsenal. I mean, he's going to give Arsenal, even without him, you saw how Arsenal's goal difference was because, and to borrow Sarah's expression, which I absolutely love from about an hour ago, you said what they score like a committee of goals. Did you say? You said they score goals by committee, right?
Yes.
Is that what you said? Yeah,
Yes.
I absolutely love that expression. I'm going to use that in my next article.
Perfect. Here to help.
Wow.
And
Professor Sarah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
God damn, man.
so yeah, that's what
man.
I think about Osimhen. Look, I think Osimhen is in a place where he should just relax, watch the clubs haggle over him, and then decide which team fits his style of play, where he can get the most out of in terms of obviously financially, but most happy because I don't know what his preference is in terms of City, maybe. Clinton is Victor married. Sometimes that also plays a part. Whether his partner wants to move to
Oh,
Spain
yes.
and Italy, and England or a France, that also plays a part. We've seen players decide to go here or not here because of
Yeah.
that as well.
No,
If
don't
that
worry. Victor
meets
Osimhen is
his
he's not married. He's a player. A
He's not
football player. A football player.
Hold on.
I don't understand what.
But you know what team I think Victor Osimhen would have done so well at as well? I feel like if he made it to Chelsea, considering the kind of chances Chelsea they create in games. You see, the problem with Chelsea is not. It's not creating. It's not even the ball. We've seen Chelsea face really big, strong teams, and they turn up like crazy. You see, let's say Chelsea facing Manchester City or Manchester United or facing Aston. They'll randomly turn up. But when they face teams like say Nottingham Forest or Luton or one of these, down table team, you see them. It will almost feel like, okay, we've underrated these people, and then we are playing down to the level, and then they knock you off, right? Chelsea would always create the chances. They would always get the ball to the 18-yard box. But the problem is always who scores the goal. Which I feel like Nicholas Jackson, for example, he's not gotten to the point where he should be playing for a team like Chelsea. You don't go from having somebody like Didier Drogba and then going to Nicholas Jackson. I understand, yeah, they link him up to Didier Drogba, saying he plays like him. But no, he's not. He's definitely. I feel like he's the player that should be coming at like say 75 minutes, right? After he's watched somebody like Osimhen, dominating the game. Does that make sense? Now, if you see how, I keep mentioning chances, right? Chelsea, they create chances. When you see people like Madueke running in between defenders, and then you see someone like Mudryk with all the speed. Now, having somebody like a point man, like Osimhen there, oh my God.
Would you take an option of either Ivan Toney or Jonathan David at Manchester United?
I like Ivan Toney for some reason, right? Ivan
Me
Toney.
too. Me too.
There's something about Ivan Toney. When I look at him, I see a Viking.
He's got the dog in him.
Yeah, well,
that's exactly what it is.
Thank you. There's just something about him that I feel like, he's a beast, right? He goes in there, right? As a defender, you're frightened.
Yeah.
You just know that this guy will do the undoable. I remember the first game he played, after he came off the suspension that he had at the time, right? You remember how he was welcomed on the pitch? It was like Undertaker, all these lighting on,
Yeah.
and then on that same day, he gave them a freaky goal. Boom! And
Easy peasy.
it was like, yes, I'm back. The
Yep.
king is back.
Yep.
Does that make sense? So that's you dropping a statement. Now, you would think it's just a game, but there's something that goes mentally with your opponents too. Just having to display like that on the pitch. So next time when you come forward, they are more careful about you. They know that you're dangerous as hell. And at given the split second, he would drop in. He would net something in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would go for Ivan Toney anytime.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That's all we have. In terms of transfers, I'm sure I'll be, lots more news in the next few weeks. And
As we go through
it never
the Euros.
stops, really. My phone, I have Fabrizio Romano's notifications on, and it buzzes non-stop throughout the day. So
Fabrizio.
it's posted.
And
Here we
about
go.
Victor as well. May I just point out that I know someone who knows someone who's when it comes to Victor Osimhen, I'm quite clued in on what's going on. Arsenal, yes, he was seriously excited that spoke to me about it. He was seriously excited about the prospect of playing for Arsenal. because he believes that, they are in a champions elect kind of position. Even if Manchester City win again next season, he believes that Arsenal are in a place where he will get all the visibility he wants, that he deserves, because the Premier League are playing, he's going to score goals, and he was excited about the project. The only but, as you may know, is that the deal was said to be a cash for swap deal. So that was what was key about it. From what I'm quite excited about the prospect of one, going to the Premier League, and two, playing for Arsenal specifically. If it's not, I'm told that he has always, so Arsenal for professional reasons, but Osimhen himself has always had a soft spot, I'm told, for Chelsea Football Club. Yeah.
Interesting. Insider info from Gary. I love that. I love that. All right, guys, shall we talk a little bit about the Copa America, because it will be also starting next week. Lionel Messi in action, of course, in the United States.
Hey, God, the only person that will keep me awake all night.
Genuinely, you will expect me to be up at 2 a.m. to be watching Lionel Messi play for Argentina. The opening match against Canada, and I will be wearing my Albiceleste jersey, you better believe it. Yeah, the time change for us is not great, but nevertheless, Copa America, always an exciting tournament. I feel like it's also very political because these nations have gone through so much history. Like, it means more than football. It's such a good tournament. Do you guys think that anyone besides Argentina can win this, and who? Who are you looking at? Who are the top dogs here?
Personally, for me, and this is because I'm a really big fan of Marcelo Bielsa, I'm looking at Uruguay. I think, the team that they've got, they are, alongside Argentina, the most successful team in this competition, both with 15 titles, Brazil just behind with 9. I look at Uruguay and I think they're the team that can threaten Argentina the most. Brazil, obviously, with the players they've got, you look at Vini, you look at Rodrigo, they've got some quality players in there. But I do think Uruguay will be the team to surprise Argentina, maybe.
I have that as my final, actually. I've been watching Uruguay in the last couple qualifying, even World Cup matches, and they look so good. It's El Pistolero's last tournament, Luis Suarez, likely anyways. They have Federico Valverde, obviously, who's just been absolutely brilliant. They still have Bentancur there. It's a team that is... they're brilliant, really. Like, they are having kind of the shift now from the older to the younger is very noticeable, because obviously the last World Cup we saw them go out in the group stage, which is rare for them in this 21st century. So I think Uruguay is a great shout. A dark horse for me, I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking at Ecuador. I'm looking at you, Moises Caicedo. I'm looking at Estupiñán. I think this team is a team to watch. They, I think, are third right now overall in South America, ahead of Brazil in World Cup qualifiers. I think this team could make an interesting move here for sure.
I think there's a few teams. You look at Chile, you look at Peru.
Yeah.
Oof, Chile.
I think there are a few teams that could surprise, obviously, coming into this tournament. Chile and Peru on some very bad form.
You even got Colombia as well,
I got Gary in the ear telling me Colombia, which Alex Ashmore, you have a soft spot for. Colombia is another team, actually, Gary, I like that has kind of gone through their transition, right? They look to be that Colombia of maybe 2010 once again.
To be honest, right, I will still not write Brazil off, though.
Sorry, we're not.
Sorry, I think Gary was going to say something, Gary.
No. Honestly, it's not like 2010, but we know that James Rodriguez becomes something else when he puts on that jersey. So, and off topic, we should do a show about players who are otherworldly when they put in the national team, no matter how bad their club is. One, right? Ochoa, right? Guillermo Ochoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they wear the national team jersey, in my country, nobody remembers what he did for his club, but everybody, when he wore a national team jersey, he became whatever.
Sorry, Gary, we're having a bit of trouble with your connection over here, unfortunately.
Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3, 1, 3.
Yeah, I think so. It just got choppy for a moment.
You know, I don't know if you've seen break dancers. Your stuff is break dancing somehow. It's like,
Yeah. Saying that, you know, off topic, have James Rodriguez, who is one of the guys who become something else when they put in jersey. And I was saying that maybe one day we should do a show about 10 players who become like they enter beast mode just when they wear their national team jersey, like Ochoa of Mexico, the Mexican goalkeeper,
Harry
Donovan.
Maguire.
Harry Maguire.
We're
You know,
ruthless.
and I was saying that in
There's
my country-
there's somebody I'm going to mention. And speaking about that, because, you know, I was mentioning to you about the fact that we don't mention Ghana, especially knowing that Ghana, they had a match a couple of days ago, which they won.
Oh, Mohamed.
Now, Kudus. Mohamed Kudus is the only one Ghanaian player that I feel like both club and country, he doesn't joke with the country at all. Like, Kudus, oh my God. Kudus is a player which was Nigerian. Like, he's a player, I wish our Nigerian stars had they share the same kind of mentality. You know, because that guy, there's something about him. Yeah, he's very good at West Ham currently, right? But when he goes to, I don't know, the moment he hears Ghana,
he takes on,
national team.
He takes on an absolutely new character as well. Anyway, I'm sure one day we are going to do a show about that as well. But anyway, Colombia, look, they went in a bit of a lull, and then Nestor Lorenzo took charge in 2022, and they had a new lease of life, you know. So they have enough stars as well that they have mixed up with some of the experienced ones like James, like we've said. They've got a defender from Bologna. I never know how to mention his name. Yon Lukumi, I think his name, that's how they mention it. And then, of course, there's Crystal Palace again. It feels like Crystal Palace are everywhere. Their fullback, Daniel Munoz.
And of course, you have to mention
everywhere.
Luis Diaz. You have to.
Luis Diaz as well. You know, they are among the biggest names. So, I mean, they are the only undefeated side in the CONMEBOL qualifiers. So that should tell you something. They're the only undefeated side in the CONMEBOL qualifiers as well. So, obviously, and if you take out Argentina, to take your Spanish pronunciation of it, Argentina. I would go in order of teams that can be favorites: Brazil, Uruguay 2. Do I say Colombia 3? Yeah, and then probably Ecuador. These are my favorites for Copa America.
Yeah.
I do think those teams I mentioned, you know, you look at Colombia, I would obviously like them to go all the way. I have a soft spot for Uruguay as well with Marcelo Bielsa, but looking at the teams I mentioned, Chile, Peru.
Yeah, that's crazy to me,
No,
I will say.
I don't think they're dark horses as such. I think they're coming in on bad form. Chile won 3 of their last 10, Peru won 2 of their last 10. I just think when you look at those teams that, you know, maybe in the past, coming into the tournament with bad form, you never know what a tournament can do. I'm not saying they're going to go all the way. I just think that maybe they could be a surprise package to not go all the way. You look at Venezuela as well, who maybe, I think people are counting them out, but, you know, they could surprise a few people. I don't think they'll go all the way, but they could surprise us.
Chile just came off a win. Sorry, against Paraguay 3-0, but my issue with Chile is they're a team that was so dominant once in the golden era, winning back-to-back Copa Americas against Lionel Messi and Argentina, but they're still relying on players like Alexis Sanchez, Vargas, Bravo. You know, they didn't even call Arturo Vidal, but I probably would have Gary Medel. Like, this team is, when I hear these players, I'm like, is it 2015? This Chilean team was so dominant at that time, but, you know, nearly 10 years later, and it's still the same players. That's what worries me a bit. Pace is going to get them, I think.
You never know what they could produce on the day, though.
Oh, they'll come for you on the pitch, though. They're ruthless, they are.
I mean, whatever happens, I'm rooting for Argentina. You know the reason why? Yes, Lionel Messi! Listen, even if they don't win, I'm just looking forward to just watching Lionel Messi play. You know,
at 2 in the morning.
I know.
Yes,
I'll be happy to. I wouldn't mind sleeping a whole day to be awake all night just for Lionel Messi.
Well, you have to come here and do the Euros.
You know, 100%. I tell you the truth. Like, I just
no
want to see
sleep
him,
July.
I just want to see him kick football. I want to see him lay passes. I want to see him be the Lionel Messi we've always seen. You know, I mean, like, there's just something about Lionel Messi playing that. You know, you just wish to see every single day of your life, and I just can't wait for it.
You know what? I had this thought myself. I said,
to buttress the point, sir, I think, you know, And I don't think I have spent as much time in a Copa America waking up as much as I have spent because of Messi. I mean, look,
I mean, this is somebody who's a
it's a
Ronaldo person as well.
look, it is what it is. Like I've always said, I'm a Ronaldo guy, right? But
Didn't recognize his
I
game.
want to be able to watch as much as I can while he's here so that I can say that, yes, I watched it live at 2 a.m. You know, I feel like you don't want to miss it. Yeah, that's just it. It's we are
No, I
just
had the
privileged
same-
to be able to see him play.
I had the same thought too, Gary. I said, no matter what, I'll be waking up at 2 or 3, get an hour's sleep, come here and do this with you because there's no way I'm going to miss any moment that I can watch Lionel Messi because we don't know how much more time we have left.
Absolutely.
But I do know that we are out of time for today, guys. Absolutely brilliant talking to you. Gary, thank you again so much for joining us. And Friday, guys, we are live on Sporty TV the day of the Euros. 1 p.m. we are coming to you live on Sporty TV as well as all of our socials. And we will be previewing Germany and Scotland finally.
And please, whatever you say before you end the show, please, I want you to say Egbe. But continue. That's all I was going to say. Don't end. Can you say Egbe?
I don't think I can say it.
Say Egbe.
Ebwe.
Egbe.
Ebwe.
No, you've been using your Latin American whatever to be said, but this one is the easiest. Don't act like you cannot say it. Say Egbe.
What does it mean?
No, I'll tell you after.
No.
Say Egbe. No.
I've
Let's
been
say.
swearing on the
No,
show.
wait. So you know how you will be like, oh yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the show, and we're gonna see you on Friday. You will say Egbe at the end.
Ebwe.
No. It's not Egbe. It's Egbe. Put the GB.
Ebwe.
Egbe.
It's like you're really
So
singing.
it's Egbe.
Ebwe.
Egbe.
Ebwe.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you can continue. Now you say Egbe. Go
I
on.
don't think any of us have said it properly yet. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, Friday, 1 p.m., Sporty TV live and all of our socials. We will be back previewing heavily Germany and Scotland. Until then, enjoy yourselves.
Egbe.
Ebwe.
Ha! God, you felt my hand now. See now, the place where you were meant to say Egbe, you didn't say it.
Sorry.
I say it. No.
Egbe.
Repeat it again. No. You have to say Egbe. Alex, say Egbe.
Ebwe.
All right. All right, you know what, guys? Let's just forget Sara, man. Okay, it's fine. We'll see you on Friday. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time. Egbe. You see? You see how I did it? Easy. Oh.